Something just changed at Logify, and it's worth knowing about. So before I get into today's episode, I want to take a moment to talk about Logify, because they just went through something that's worth mentioning. They recently did a full rebrand. Not just a new logo and colour, but a real rethink of what they're building and why. Their whole positioning has shifted to this: minimum hassle, maximum independence. The idea being that hosts should spend less time managing the business and more time actually running it, without handing control over to the platforms to do it for them. What's coming out of that is interesting. This summer they're launching an AI co-host that handles guest communication around the clock. Messages across Logify, WhatsApp and iMessage, with you approving anything that needs a real answer. They're also integrating directly with ChatGPT, so travellers will be able to discover and book properties through AI without going through a platform at all. And they're rebuilding their pricing engine to update rates automatically based on live market data. On top of that, the core stuff is still there. Channel Manager, direct booking website with 0% Logify commission, automated messaging, housekeeping tools, one dashboard for everything. It's a company that's clearly thinking about where hosting is actually going, not just where it is right now. Really worth a look if you've been thinking about getting proper systems in place. This is the Vacation Rental Success Podcast, keeping you up to date with news, views, information and resources on this rapidly changing short-term rental business. I'm your host, Heather Bayer, and with 25 years of experience in this industry, I'm making sure you know what's hot, what's not, what's new, and what will help make your business a success. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Vacation Rental Success Podcast. This is your host Heather Bayer, and as ever I'm super excited to be back with you once again. If you're listening to this on the date of publication, then I will already have done my session at Scale AI in Brighton, and I will have had a great conversation with today's guest. And you're going to be hearing more about that later. But I want to start by telling you about today's guest and how I came to be having this conversation at all. Earlier this year, I was at the VR Nation conference, and one evening I went to a lovely dinner in a fabulous vacation rental. It was hosted by Bookings Cloud and Siddhi Mittal from Why Hangry. And it was hosted for a group of short-term rental leaders in a fantastic evening. And I sat at that table and listening to Siddhi talk about her business, about AI, and about getting more women into the room. And by the end of the evening, I knew I had to get her on the show. So Siddhi is the co-founder and co-CEO of Why Hangry, which is now the UK's largest private chef marketplace. She studied, and this is where it gets interesting, she studied AI at Columbia back in 2013, spent 6.5 years as a trader in the City of London, and then left all that to build a company that connects independent chefs with people who want a proper dining experience at home. This sounds so much like my journey. You know, my journey from being a psychotherapist to starting a management consultancy and training company in England, and then starting Cottage Link Rental Management. So a lot of similarities along the way. But what makes this relevant to you and me is what happened next. Siddhi looked at her own booking data and realised that more than half of it was coming from vacation rentals. So she built a way for property managers to offer a private chef as an experience to their guests and earn from it. And we're going to get into exactly how that works. But there's more to this conversation than the Why Hangry business. Siddhi has become one of the most energetic voices I've come across on AI adoption in our industry. In 1 month alone, she spoke from 5 different stages, teaching property managers and other founders how to actually build with AI rather than just talk about it. She runs a London event series called SheCompoundsAI that's deliberately built to bring more women into this space. The first one sold out in 24 hours. And she does all of this as a fairly new mom, which she is refreshingly honest about. So there's a lot packed into the next 40 minutes or so. The why hangry story, the property manager partnership, what AI agents really mean for a business like yours, and why she believes this is a moment that women in particular should not be sitting out. So let's get into it. Here's my conversation with Siddhi Mittal. I always love it when an episode starts out with laughter. This is the great way. This is how this episode is going to go.
Yes.
I am so happy to have with me today Siddhi Mittal from Why Hangry. Do I get your first name pronounced correctly?
You said everything correctly. It's amazing.
Okay. I know I played a lot with Why Hangry, I Hangry. And then I went and watched your Dragon's Den recording and I got it.
Yes, love it. Why hangry if you can book a private chef?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that was going to be okay, that's one of my questions out of the way.
Tick, done.
Tick, done. Yeah, it's just such a pleasure to have you here. Realised from the moment we met in that beautiful vacation rental in, where were we? Oh my God, where were we? Denver.
Yes.
Denver. That I had to have you on the show. And you just excited me with what you do and with your presence. So I knew this was going to be a great episode. So here we go. Who are you? Who is Siddhi Mittal? You have such a great background in the things you've done. And so I want you to explain how you got to here from where you were.
Oh, God. Wow. That's a big question. The scope is too big for me to fall down rabbit holes, Heather. And let me try. Yes, firstly, I loved meeting you. I feel the very same. Just in summary, I grew up in India in a very small town. Actually, for that girl, I didn't even think I was going to leave that small city in India. It's Agra, where Taj Mahal is, so crazy, where my roots are from. My dad moved to Delhi for a better business opportunity. From Delhi, I went to Columbia because my sister went abroad. I was like, great, I'll do the same. Did computer science AI back in 2013. I remember very clearly feeling very bored of the idea of becoming a developer or engineer at Google. I was like, wow, I'm just going to be optimizing a click of a button. That doesn't excite me. And meanwhile, for some reason, I got a financial job and I saw all these people called traders and they were just doing stuff, like shouting at each other. And I was like, wow, I could do that. So in a very bizarre ad hoc way, I would just go in the summer, try to get someone on the trading floor to speak to me. I had no clue what they were talking about. I didn't understand finance. I didn't understand economics, but I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I feel the energy. And I did it. Somehow I got my foot in the door. I got hired in New York on the asset-backed mortgage securities desk. I was like, I don't even know what this means. Then next thing I know, I got deported to London. My immigrant visa issues is always a thing. So next thing I know, I left London on an overnight flight to New York. All my stuff got flown over. And I was like, oh my God, no friends, starting all over again in a new city.
Hang on, you said you left London and went to New York.
Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, they were wrong. I went from New York to go to London.
Yeah, I'm glad I picked up on that.
If you know me, for me, it's just like loosely details. It's just like the big picture, as long as you guys are visualizing the story.
The story is great. Keep going.
Right.
So you left New York.
Yes.
You had to leave New York.
Correct.
You went to London.
Exactly.
Are you still a trader at that time?
Yes, exactly. I was. I had graduated and I'd only been working for 3-4 months and then immediately got moved over. I was like, fine. I learned how to eat in restaurants by myself, make friends at gym while swimming. And I understood why it is hard as an adult and what loneliness means. But also, I thought of myself as a single girl in Paris. I was like, it's fine. I'm going to take my book wherever. It was a great time. Heather, it was a very weird and great time. And the one thing that really stuck out was how different Brits are. In America, people just are like, oh man, come out, come to drinks or dinner with me. They mean it. Whereas in London, people would be like, oh yeah, you should totally join us. And then the invite never came. So I just remember thinking, wow, this is the first time I felt culture shock. Anyhow, before we get sidetracked, in London, did 6 years on the trading floor, loved it for 3-4 years, until I had a huge existential crisis where I just thought I was put on this earth for something else. And I just got really sad. And it was a very first world problem. But for me, making money for the sake of making money just wasn't enough anymore. And I remember watching this movie from Netflix called Queen of Catway. It was this wonderful movie. And I started bawling. And my husband was like, "What's wrong with you? It's such a good movie. What's up?" And I just said, that girl has hopes and dreams and her world is open to her. And I just feel so sad and so stuck. Like I'm wasting my life. And it's hard because I just don't know how I got here. So then my husband told me, 2 of us don't need to suffer in finance. I got you. Go build your dream, whatever you want to do. And I guess that was the beginning of Why Hungry. And yeah, I think a lot of the story kind of starts from that interjunction of me being able to escape the
So where did you get the idea for Why Hungry? Because when I was reading through all your profiles and finding out more about you, I thought you'd started this in the vacation rental industry, but you started this outside.
Wow.
This was not, it wasn't integral to start with.
Oh my God, yes. So taking one step back, as of last year, I didn't even know what STR or vacation rental meant. So taking you back 7 years, I was a very busy, stressed out corporate trader, and I just needed some good food. And having amazing home cooked food in India, I just thought, oh my God, there has to be a way where someone just cooks me some food and delivers it or just comes to my house, whatever. And to me, it was very obvious that chefs do that. So I just thought, why isn't there a platform that can allow me to do this? Because I don't want restaurant food. It's too greasy. I don't want to cook. I can't do it. I don't do it. I don't want to do it. So how do I feed myself? So that was the idea. It was very much about a consumer. So anyone in their homes can do this. And that very much so was the idea up until literally last year. End of 2024, where I rocked up to my first conference. Because I was like, and maybe we can take a step back, but at some point our data showed that 50% of vacation rental users were using our product. Mm-hmm. And at that point, it blew my mind, Heather. I was like, wait a minute. So you're telling me we're like doing influencer events. We're paying Google. We're doing all this stuff. And people are booking us in vacation rental / Airbnbs. What? And then I internally just went, guys, isn't that so strange? Shouldn't we just go out to these people and tell them we'll pay them the money that we're paying to a big dog like Google? Isn't that obvious? But what I didn't know was how to do that. I was like, okay, let me figure it out. I'm a founder. And that was our entry into the vacation rental world because they were already using Why Hungry. Yeah.
That's an amazing story. I had no idea. I've heard about everywhere I go in the last year. I've heard about you. I've heard about Why Hungry. And I thought you'd been around for a much longer time. That is such a great story. What was the first event you went to?
It was in London and it was called STRZ, like short-term rentals.
Oh, the shorties.
Yeah, exactly. Those guys. And they, funnily enough, because they were very excited about Dragon's Den, they put this slot where they were like, we're going to have 3 startups do a Dragon's Den pitching style. And the crazy thing was, Heather, I walked in. I had no clue what was going on in the industry. Within a span of 2 days, I'd heard Richard Wotton speak. And I was like, oh my God, he just told me what's going on. And I was like taking notes. I chased after him. I was like, buddy, you and I need to chat because you're going to tell me everything. And then you're probably going to invest too because my idea is great. But you're going to tell me what's going on here. Then I remember just sitting through the whole day and people talked about Airbnb pre-launching services. Then someone got up on the stage, which is Alliance Bernstein. They were like, it's all going to be about PMs earning more dollars, which is going to be offering services. So by the time I got up on the stage for my pitch, I just went, guys, I'm going to repeat everything I heard here today. What I'm hearing is this industry is now demand constrained, not supply constrained. You all need more money, dollars. Yes, there is AI innovation and that's going to unlock it. It also seems like you all should be upselling and just making more dollars because that's just money left on the table. Guess what I do? I'm the magic fairy that gives you money. Like literally. And then it was so fun. I was like, this industry is so great. The people are so great. And I fell in love with the industry in that first conference I went to.
Couple of things come to mind there. You mentioned Richard Wharton. I've known Richard for over 20 years now. And Yeah, he is the absolute greatest in this industry. Anybody's around and about at a conference, and Richard Vorton on the list. I'm sure he's going to be speaking, but if he's not, just seek him out and just have a chat with him because he has so much knowledge and is so willing to share, as obviously you found that.
Honestly, after all I will say is I heard him speak for 30 minutes. I took his slides. I asked for a call. I redid that into an investor presentation deck, and I raised 1.3 million in 2 weeks. And I was off to the races to build in the vacation rental industry. That's the kind of impact that man had. His content is so good and he was so generous. And I also was like, I think you should be a tiny investor. And he ended up investing a tiny angel check, but he's just such a stand-up guy. Yeah.
Yeah. The day this is published, I will be in England at the Scale conference.
Yes,
and I know Richard is speaking there. So I'm going to tell him, this is being published today. You should listen to this because we talk about you.
I love it.
So practically, for the property managers who are listening to this, what does a partnership with Why Hungry actually look like? And what sort of revenue?
Yeah.
Because everybody's out there talking upselling, but they want to see some numbers. What works? What should they be doing?
Love it. Let me break this down so it's very simple. If you imagine a triangle, so the top of the triangle is better guest experience. Your guest should be able to say, wow, I had a great time because I had a chef, I had people, I had amazing food, whatever. I had a great time and memories. The second thing is you should be able to earn dollars when your guests have a great time, more earnings for you. And the third bit of the triangle is at no cost to you. So that is the triangle that Why Hungry is promising. In UK, we have a property manager called Kate and Toms. They are in Cotswolds, Heather. They're amazing. And they have 300 properties. They've allowed me to share these stats so I can share freely.
Can you tell me what the company name was again?
Yes, it's Kate and Toms.
Oh, Kate and
these beautiful places in Cotswolds, and they're truly amazing.
I used to live there.
That's what I mentioned. And then these guys are earning around 3K in commission every month simply by making sure their guests know that they can book a private chef service with us. And by the way, this isn't even an AI native product, which is going to take this commissions even higher. So currently, if you're a property manager, you can go on partners.whyhungry.com. It's instant to generate an affiliate link. It's magic. You just put in your details, generate an affiliate link, and guess what? You have a beautiful email, add some photos, send it out to your guests, and let's see the uptake. That's it. It all starts from understanding if your guests actually want something like that. So I'll just say it starts from the top of the funnel.
So the property manager doesn't have to do anything beyond connecting the guests with the platform.
Exactly. And what that looks like is you set up a one-off email or you set up links across your journey one time. We can even help with that. And after that, you literally earn as you sleep.
That is such a cool thing. Because I know when you're thinking upselling, you're thinking, oh, what do we have to do? It's just going to add more operations, more time that we have to spend. This is very cool. What about, now this is something that somebody else mentioned recently. What if you give this to your guests, they go find a chef and they don't have the best experience?
Yeah, so of course, I think the way I can answer this is on a platform right now, we have 96% 5-star reviews. So the percentage of customers that have not great a time is very small. If they do, we have a very clear resolution process, dispute process. We are very customer friendly in that the moment customer says something has happened, we are making sure they're getting another experience or we're working with them to figure out what happened and etc. So I think our whole ethos of the company is very Y Combinator borrowed. Like for me, it's like we're building for the customer, we're building for the chef, by the way. And vacation rentals are our partners, yes, but they're actually a beneficiary in the ecosystem. We build for customers and chefs, and there are two sides of the marketplace that we're trying to keep happy. Yeah, we care a lot, and I think that's what we do in and out. So I can go more into some of the boring stuff, like we have protection and we keep money between both sides and we facilitate, insurance and all that stuff. But I think it comes down to the ethos of the company and to me.
Yeah, I think where I was coming from with this was I was a property manager for 20 years
Yes.
and I'm thinking, gosh, this would have been great to do. But then I think at the back of my mind was thinking, what happens if we have a guest, we show them this platform, they have the experience, it's not what they expect, and then they come back to me as a property manager and say, it's your fault.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point, but I think property managers are already sending customers to other links. Like you're already saying, hey, go buy milk from there, or actually go do an activity locally. And often I am so sad at the Get Your Guide tour. Like it just turns out to be not as good as I thought. But I think it just comes down to a property manager saying, hey, here's the best chef company that we recommend. Now it's on you to go figure out your chef. And I think it's very obvious through the whole flow that it's such a distinct company and we take full ownership for the experience.
Yeah, great answer. Okay, you talked UK, you started this in the UK. I know you're launching it in the US. What sort of take-up are you having with that in the US?
Yeah, quick fire stats. I believe the numbers keep changing, have 5,000 to 6,000 plus chefs across the US. Actually, this was in December, which means now it's probably closer to 8,000, 9,000. I need to check. We went from 0 to 3 million in a few months in terms of our top line in US. We don't share these numbers, but it just shows that there's so much demand. And by the way, this is across both people at their home and vacation rental. In terms of the partners, so by the way, in 8 months in UK, we had partnered with, I would say, the whole market. Sites, Travel Chapter, Aways, Unique Homestays, Kate and Tom's, you name it, we partnered with them in 8 months. It was wild. And the thing is, Heather, I'm not that good. So that told me that there was a gap in the market we were filling. And obviously, we were the best product out there. That is what that tells me. So with the US already, for example, we have East West Hospitality, we have iTrips, we have all these amazing partners lined up. And now actually, for the first time, because of AI and agents that we should definitely go into, I realized we can now build an AI native product that's even better. The heart and soul of who I am is just curious and learning. And right now, the product we're offering is already the best on the market. But guess what? In the next 3 months, when we launch our AI native, every customer is going to be like, holy smokes, this is what I needed in my life. And guess what? Every single partner right now that's partnered, they just get upgraded to the AI native product, which is even better, and they get even more money. So it doesn't change anything for the property managers, but for their customers, they have an even better experience. And for me, one thing is very important. The property manager, if they have a concierge, for example, they'll actually be able to see the requests and be able to be like, all right, I can help you if you need to. Because I know we work with a lot of premium ones and everyone has a different level of how much they interact with the customer and how much they want to be involved. So yeah, we have lots of plans basically, and it's an exciting time.
That it excites me. If I was still a property manager, I would be even more excited. And I would be partnering with you. But you, of course, you segued already into AI.
Yes.
That's where we're going, because on the one hand, you've got Why Hungry. Yeah. On the other hand, you are out on stages telling short-term rental operators and managers to stop watching AI happen.
Yes.
And start using it.
Yes.
What is it about how the industry is currently approaching AI? I know this. I know this because I'm seeing it every day. Yes. But what is it that's making you want to bang the table and say, come on, people, get into this?
So, I'll just make the question a little broader. I think just for anyone listening, guys, like no one is using AI. No one understands it. Only 0.04% in the world even understand what an agent is, etc. So if you're listening to this podcast, you're way ahead of the curve. What's happening right now is, I didn't understand myself at the beginning, Heather. But what's happening is, AI has become too easy to use, yet there is the biggest barrier, which is you don't know what you don't know, obviously. So people are just sat there frozen. And there are some people just using all this jargon. Claude Code, bro. Oh my God, there's Anthropic has done this. Okay, this has come out. Agents, like skill. Oh, it's so easy. None of it makes sense to a normal person who was just going about their daily life. So here is, I believe, what's happening. I believe we have suddenly democratized AI, but no one has been teaching people the fundamentals of how to program using AI. That's essentially what people are doing. Like when people say prompting, what the hell is prompting? It's just speaking, but anyone can say hi. Hi is not a prompt. A good prompt will be, hey, this is my goal. Here's what I'm trying to do. Here's some context. Here's some da-da-da. Help me get there. But if someone has never used it, how are they going to figure this out themselves? So to me, the biggest gap, which is why I'm banging on the door, whether it's teaching women, whether it's short-term property managers, I'm actually teaching anybody. Yep. Everything comes back to Wahingri or like whatever. But I realize my passion now is using what I do well, which is translate all these complicated concepts in very simple English and allow people to feel comfortable, curious, optimistic, and not be so fearful. Because where is the inner child in us that gets excited by learning and being happy? Why are people so scared? So yeah, I think that makes me very passionate, and I feel like I can make a bit of a impact on the world, or I can give back as my service to the world, and I'm meant to do it.
Tell me about SheCompoundsAI and why you started this and why this women first framing matters to you.
So this comes from the fact that I spent 7 years on a training floor. I was earning, let's just say, close to $500,000, but I was earning still 50% less than men, right? Towards the top. And when I realized, oh my God, the more I continue, the unhappier I will be, because people expected me to be grateful for how much I was earning. It was never about the absolute dollars for me. I just want to know that I'm valued equally as the guy sat next to me, because he is my close friend. And like, why am I underpaid? And I think it was so intense that I decided I'm going to change my whole career and I will be a founder so I could do right by myself and forge a new war. So now that you know the premise of that, this year I ended up having a baby boy. So it's like universe is like, here you go. That really helped my perspective a lot, because suddenly I went, wait, it was never about women versus men. However, it is about having parity. Like, everyone wants to feel fair. It's about justice. So when I had this baby and I fell into the matrix of OpenClaw, I have an OpenClaw bot, and I have all of it. I have the Mac Mini that's running.
No, don't forget, a lot of people listening to this have sitting there going, what is this? What is OpenClaw?
And they, like, for now, all you need to know it's like a magic box. Like, I just bought Telegram stuff.
And it's a magic box. Can you go on? You're going to go to Amazon and say, okay, magic box.
Yeah.
Send me one now.
Yeah. Okay, it's a little bit technical, which is why I'm skipping over it. But I guess my salient point was, as I started to drop into the world of AI with my baby, I immediately went, holy smokes. Actually, it's not that hard as people think it is. And I could make it easy. And then I was like, if I could make it easy for anyone, I would want to do it for women worldwide. 50% of the whole population, if they can earn a little bit more and save a little bit more time, guess what? This is the first time in the whole world women could actually earn slightly more and have somewhat of a fairness versus men. And it's not versus men. It's just, it's fair. It's fair for everyone on this planet to have the same opportunity, which is why my framing was women first, even though, by the way, I have a baby boy and I want him to grow up with all the opportunities. And he's going to obviously be like, going to take every opportunity that comes his way. So I think I'm very balanced in that. This is not anti-men. It's just, it's for 50% of the population that's been treated a little bit unfairly and has a lot of invisible labor and burden that they, for whatever reason.
What if the admin just ran itself? If you've been in the short-term rental business for more than 5 minutes, you know the admin load is real. Updating calendars across platforms, responding to guest questions at all hours, coordinating turnovers, and chasing down the things that fell through the cracks. It's the part of hosting nobody really talks about, but it's also the part that determines whether this stays something you love or becomes something that you resent. Logify is built to take most of that off your plate. One dashboard, channel manager, automated guest messaging, housekeeping and task management, direct booking website, unified inbox for all your properties. It's the kind of setup that lets your operation run without you manually touching every piece. And this summer, Logify is launching an AI co-host, an always-on AI that handles guest messages across Logify, WhatsApp, and iMessage. You set the rules. The AI manages the communication, and you step in for anything that needs a real decision. For anyone running multiple properties or hosting us alongside a full-time life, this genuinely changes what's possible. You can use code VRS20 for 20% off all yearly and bi-yearly Logify plans. The link is in the show notes. So tell me about the event itself, the event series. What do you do when you get these women into the room?
AI, very simple. A she can compound using AI/community. So it's all about AI/IRL human connection. That is like the theme of this year for me, for Wahingri, for SheCompoundsAI. As a part of the event, you walk in. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. You've actually seen it. Heather, in Denver, there was a version of this. Act 1, I will take you through basic AI foundations in plain English. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to talk about it, then you're going to do it yourself. In Act 2, we're going to build an AI agent one shot in less than 10 minutes. It's going to blow your mind, and then you're going to realize that's not even the hardest part. However, you did it. You did it. It's so easy, and you got it. It's not that you built the agent, you understood the thinking behind it. Then in Act 2, we continue to actually iterate on our agent when we say, cool, how do we make it better? What does it need to do to become self-learning and all that stuff? That's just Act 2. This has only been like 45 minutes, by the way. In Act 3, we take a breath. We figure out what we learned today. We then potentially make a plan generated with AI, personalized for us for the next 30 days. Because guess what? The hardest thing, and everyone knows this, it's like to keep going. It's a habit. It's a tiny habit every day. So if you just do AI for 5 minutes every day and learn a new concept, you're going to be flying. And then there's always a surprise in Magic Box with me. And I have no clue what that will be on any event. But that's kind of roughly how it is. And if you look at LinkedIn, people are sharing how their journey has evolved. And Heather, there are people that have done it for every day in 30 days, and they're flying. It's so amazing to see them posting on LinkedIn. So I feel like that's kind of what's keeping me going. I'm like, hell yeah. This one event is like giving them dividends forever. They're earning more money, saving more time. And it's so good to see.
I want to bring this to Ontario.
I want to also.
I want to bring this to Toronto. And maybe, we've got Ella in Toronto.
Yes. I have my family member who I can hang out and be like, I'm going to visit my family. I'm here for it. Yeah, Toronto's amazing. Find out.
I think, this should be everywhere. It's a syndicated thing. SheCompoundsAI.
You made me realize something. Ella inspired me this year. Ella was the one who WhatsApped me saying, Siddhi, I shared this on LinkedIn. I just came back to me. She said, Siddhi, there is this weird fear of using AI for like everyday use cases. And because you're posting about it, I was posting about building a relationship coach, building the most random stuff like a team operating system. And she was like, wow, I want to be inspired on how I can use AI daily for everything. And Ella inspired me to continue to share and then actually do an event about it. I forgot about it, but there you go. Ella is also one of the people who inspired me.
Going back on that, because this is something that you're doing. You're a new mom.
Yes.
How old is your little boy now?
Today, he turned 5 months old.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. I can't believe you were in VR Nation 2 months ago.
I know.
Left him.
I know.
However, you've been really open about you're a new mom, you have ADHD. I know this. It was my son recently, who's my business partner, who said, I've got ADHD. I'm diagnosed. He said, Mom, you've had it from as long as I've known you, which is like 5 years.
So crazy.
Yeah. And so now I'm recognizing. I recognize as you talk about starting different businesses, and I think, yeah, I was there. I've done that. I'm now taking on a VA. In fact, after this call, I've got my onboarding call with my new executive assistant. It's like, okay, this person is going to keep me in line.
Yes.
But you've used AI to create, and I know this is probably where you're using OpenClaw and your Mac Mini to manage your very busy life. What does a normal working day look like for you when you're using all these aspects of AI as well?
Yeah. Funnily enough, yes, my OpenClaw bot is called Leo Jarvis. And here's a telegram. He checks in with me every day, sends calendar invites, and I was about to onboard a VA. And then I immediately realized I could train my own VA, but this is, I think it's good to have a VA. I also, by the way, now have a coach that is called the ADHD coach, but every week, it's like a very nice check-in point to have some tools to just sharpen, where I'm going. In terms of...
So is this a human ADHD coach?
It's a human.
Oh, right.
Yes. And I think what I want to clarify before I share my AI journey is AI can help make things better, but it can also really derail you. I really got lost in the matrix. And at some point, my husband was about to separate from me like a month in. He was like, "You've had a baby. What the hell is going on with you?" I was like lost in the matrix. And then at some point, I was like, okay, no, you can't go anywhere. You're the love of my life. My baby's the love of my life. And then it taught me, I actually start my day with meditating, journaling in nature for 2 hours. No devices. A very little devices possible. And that's to ground my mind. From there, once I know what it is that I need to do, so I've already prioritized my mind. It's like 1 to 3, got it. No AI needed. Just use critical thinking, human mind. At that point, I go, then I jump into execution at a ridiculous pace where I have 10 tabs open, sending emails. And this is, by the way, on my phone. I'm in the nature park. I come back, I'm playing with my baby, I'm firing off emails, I'm speaking to people, I'm on Claude. Claude is doing most of my stuff. Once someone was like, "Send me an invoice." I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Claude, build an invoice, send it, done." So I feel like all this really random admin that people don't realize you don't got to do now. All you have to do is log into a LLM, ChatGPT or Claude. Just tell them, be like, "Here are some tasks someone asked me to do. Do it for me." They will do it for you. It's a magic box. So I just use it as everything. One day, Heather, I was breastfeeding. This was like 2 months ago. I was like, man, people have put a lot of stuff on me. I just made a list. I was like, research a face cream for my husband's dry face because it's annoying me. Then I was like, number 2, I need to buy these diapers off on Amazon. I made a huge list on Claude Cowork. I hit enter. And I continued to breastfeed him. And then AI had done everything. And I was like, there you go. I just had to spend the time getting the list out there. The hard part is now I have a million things. It takes a second to write those million things. But by the way, I even use voice. Voice is 4 times faster. I've stopped even typing. So I think ADHD is a new, Y Combinator said this, ADHD is a new autism. It's like a superpower. With AI, if you have ADHD, you're just flying. You do a million things at once and everything makes sense. It's easy. It's fun.
Yeah, I know. And so just talking about these new VAs, we've got two new VAs. One's to work with GHL and do our marketing, and the other is to just keep me in line because I do need a human to do that.
Yes.
Before, when I've hired somebody, it's like, oh gosh, I've got to sit down and I've got to write down the job description and all the things they need to do.
Well,
and now, and I use voice, I would think 90% of the time now, and I just open Claude and I said, okay, I'm going to hire an executive assistant.
Yes.
You know me well. Tell me what she needs to do to help me out, to make me more organized. Okay. And that was it.
So I'm gonna pause you guys. For whoever's listening, Heather just demonstrated the concept called reverse prompting. Don't tell the LLM what to do. Tell the LLM to tell you what to do. They have a higher IQ. I love it. This is perfect. This is such an advanced concept, but it's so intuitive. But not everyone would do it. So Heather, even what you just said, I can clearly see that you're using it well.
And this is the thing for people, is that once you get into it and you start getting the results, as I said, you know me well. Tell me what this person should do. And then ask me any questions.
Yes.
If you're not sure what I'm getting stuck on, ask me the questions. And it came back with a few questions. And then bang, I've got this task list for my new VA. And then I go through it, put my human in the loop and check it through because AI gets stuff wrong.
Yes.
And I correct it. And then I went back in and I said, okay, let's take this one stage further. Yeah. I'm going to be onboarding after this call. I'm onboarding the new VA.
Yes.
Now give me an agenda for this onboarding call. These things used to take hours.
Days. And with the ADHD, you'll never get to it because it's so boring. You'll be like, man, it's better for me to do the shiny new object. This is so boring. Whatever. Who needs a VA? I'll just do her job. So yeah, I'm with you. And I think the way you've described it, all I want to say is if someone's a property manager listening to this, can I just add, Heather's already given you a blueprint. You can do this immediately. If you just open Claude or ChatGPT now, just tell them, here's my goal. Or let's say you want to make 100K extra next year. Something simple. I would just write in 1 million, but you can write whatever you're comfortable with and then say, ask me about my job, my business, my problems, interview me, and then give me a plan on how to make X amount more. There you go. You will make more money because AI will tell you how to.
It's like, why hungry? You're listening to this, you can go into whatever your chosen LLM is and said, I've just been listening to this podcast. And here's the transcript from this podcast.
Yes.
So you don't miss anything.
Yes.
And from this, tell me how partnering with Why Hungry is going to benefit my property management company. And then give me some ideas on how I promote this on my website or to my guests. And then just let it run. It's just simple conversation.
I love it. We should just rename this whole podcast to How to Prompt 101.
Do you remember it was about 18 months ago and you could go on a 2-year university course to learn prompt engineering?
All I know is all of last year, I was hearing about prompt engineering and I didn't bother to worry about what it was for some reason. I was like, just seems so random. And now I almost cannot believe how I can't believe it. I still feel it's so crazy that a very simple concept has become so twisted that's made people think it's so complicated. I thought it was so complicated as an AI major that I didn't even worry about looking into prompt engineering. I was like, wow, it's a whole new field.
And it's now just conversation.
It's just conversation.
And I did start thinking about that the other day and I thought, does a prompt actually exist anymore? Is there such a thing as a prompt? Or is it just natural conversation?
I feel like you're saying everything I say at events. So I feel like, Heather, it seems like you just want to do the SheCompound.
Yes, I do. I really want to do this. As this is published, I'm probably talking to Ella.
Amazing. Yeah, let's make it happen. And just to answer your point, I think prompt is a weird word designed to scare people. It's just so simple. You speaking or asking questions. Like you said, that is prompting. Prompt just means you speaking. So yeah, I don't think prompting makes any sense. Just say, speak to AI. That's it.
And then the thing is, when the output comes back and you think, oh, that's not quite what I wanted, then you just say, okay, that's not quite what I wanted. Yes. Let me reword that. Let me rephrase it. Let me put it in words that you might understand.
And actually just giving more tips here. So why would something be bad? AI is actually pretty smart. LLMs are very smart. What they're lacking is context. And Anthropic had this very good analogy where they said, look, let's say there are two people. Both have the highest IQ in the world. One is Barry, one is Mahesh. And
one is what? No, you have to say that again.
One's name is called Barry.
Okay.
Like a white dude, Barry. One is Mahesh, like an Indian dude.
Okay.
And then both of them have high IQ. And obviously, like Indian dude is high IQ because it's Indian. I guess that's the somewhat joke Anthropic was making. But Barry actually knows about tax. So Barry has been given the tax skill or whatever. So now if you as a customer are looking at Mahesh or Barry, high IQ, who will you pick to do your taxes? Will you go to Barry, who already knows tax, is very high IQ? Or would you go to Mahesh, who is a mathematics major? He's going to be working out, I wonder what tax is from first fundamentals. Obviously, Barry. The only difference between Mahesh and Barry is Barry has had specialized knowledge of tax. And this, by the way, is domain knowledge. And this, by the way, comes with context, your domain. So where I'm going with this is, if you're speaking to LLM, you have to give it context. You have to tell it things that you know, like the secret sauce, what's special about you, about your business, like who your baby is, because your baby takes away time from the business. And once LLM knows everything, then it's going to be a lot better for you. And don't stop. Like when Heather said, if it's bad, don't stop. Keep going. Tell it, dude, you're pretty shit. Here's a bit more context. Now can you be better? This is how you do it. So yeah, I feel like so passionately about what you said. People just got to keep going. You can't stop at the first bad output.
And you just touched on a really core thing. It's what I'm teaching in all my presentations at the moment, is that your AI does not know who you are unless you tell it.
Yes.
And you have, who are you? Where do you live? What's your background? What are your thoughts? What do you love about work? What do you love about where you live? All these things. This is you. This is you in a little packet.
Yes.
And this is where voice comes in.
Yes.
You can say to AI, okay, I want you to do an interview with me. Ask me, I want to create my own voice profile that has my tone, the way I say things, the words I use. I want you to interview me and ask me all the things that are going to give me a full profile that I can then use. And then it becomes portable. You have that file, you can take it anywhere and put it into any LLM, any project, anything you're doing. And you say, refer to that file before you answer.
I love it.
And yeah, that's just such a simple thing to do.
And I think you're also... Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, go on.
I was just going to say you're also alluding to something very simple where a lot of the things people do are like one-off. Whereas you're almost giving them a system and you're saying, look, I've saved you hours every time. Don't do this every time. And every time you're going to give some ad hoc context, do it once, reuse it. And that's the whole point of agentic flows where you don't have to do it again and again. You just do it once and you save those hours forever in perpetuity.
I want to go back to something you were talking about, SheCompoundsAI. You talk about agents. Yes. Now, this is something that a lot of people don't quite understand because that word agent
I hate it.
Is just bandied around. Everybody's using it and nobody really understands what is it. Yes. So give me the SheCompoundsAI version of an agent.
Okay, guys, so close your eyes. Let's say you're sitting at your laptop, right? And then you have an employee next to you. That employee is at their laptop. They're doing their own thing. You tell them, hey, man, never make this mistake again. Or every morning, 9 a.m., send me a new summary personalized to me with 1 to 3 things. They're going to do it. Unless they're not that clever, they're going to do it every single day because you ask them to. That's an agent. You ask it once for a task, it will do it by itself in the future, autonomously. How crazy and how amazing. And just in one line, I'll even tell you how you can make your first agent. Okay. Pay for a pro subscription. Let's say on Claude. Guys, it's only $20 a month. I don't get paid for this. Okay. Then there is a tab called Cowork. Go to Claude Cowork.
This is on the desktop version, right?
This is on the desktop version, yes. They keep changing the apps and stuff. Just go to desktop. But you can do most of this stuff on mobile now, but just go to desktop. Yeah, Heather is right. On the desktop, write this. Every morning at 9 a.m., I want a new summary of the world of vacation rentals. Here is my business. I want to earn more dollars. I'm trying to earn $200K more in the past year. Help me understand any single news article that can make me more money. Tell me about the upsells I can partner with. Tell me about ideas on where I can reduce my operational complexity. Give me 3 ideas every morning that are actionable, simple, easy, and 3 pieces of news that I should follow. Make this into an agent. Go. That's it. That's your first agent.
And the other neat thing that you can do when you're in Cowork is connect it to your Google Drive.
Yes.
Connect it to your calendar, connect it to your Gmail, and that's as easy as pressing a button. You don't have to go and do all this configuration. You just say connect and connect. Just being careful that you know what's in your files and that you've got to give some thought to safety security. But if you just connect it to your calendar for a start.
Yeah.
And just say, every morning, tell me what I'm doing today. I just wonder when I'm getting super lazy. But I seem to be working way more than I used to do with all this because I'm doing lots more. But I sometimes think, because I don't do anything now. And this morning I just went on and said, I remember that I had an email from this person and that they mentioned this thing. I can't find that email. I actually hadn't gone to look for it. Find me that email. And it was like, yes, here's the email from the 20th of May. And this is what it was about. And you replied on the 21st of May. So it's just simple things like that. I think it all comes down, and I'm sure you'll agree, it's just practicing this stuff. You're not going to hurt anything.
No.
Just by going and asking it questions, doing making some connections, like with Google Drive and Calendar and your Gmail, and seeing what happens.
But I love the advice you gave early on, guys. Just use this transcript, put it into AI, and just ask it, what are the first 3 things I should try? And then literally copy paste what comes back and chuck it back in. And by the way, the lazier you are, the dumber you are, the better you will be a user of AI. I am so lazy and I'm so dumb sometimes where I'm like, dude, I have another trick. I would screenshot LinkedIn. People are like, oh my God, I did this so crazy. I screenshot that. I put it in an LLM. I just go, what the hell is they're talking about? Tell me how this relates to me. How can I use it? There you go. And then I learned.
Oh, screenshots. I went in and cleared out 430 screenshots the other day. Because I don't think people realize you see something, maybe it's a website, and you just take a screenshot of it and you say, oh, this is a really good example of I'd like to use this. Tell me how I can use this on my website.
Exactly. It's that easy.
So, yeah. This is such an awesome conversation. I don't want to go out of it.
No, I can almost see us both doing an event together. I feel like that's what we were doing. I thought you were on stage right next to me and you were pointing at a screen and we're just telling people, and I can almost see the order could be a bit different, but this is the event. This is the event we're going to do in Toronto.
I think so. Let's make that happen. Let's make it happen. Okay, and let's distill all this into one thing differently, because it can be a little bit overwhelming.
Yes.
We've just said, take the transcript, put it into Claude, say, I want to do one thing from this, and it will give you one thing that you could do this week. But if you were to suggest somebody does one thing from what we've been talking about, what would it be?
I would tell you guys to simply practice reverse prompting using your goal, which should be to make more money. So as a property manager, you should be in a Claude or ChatGPT or whatever, just saying, I want to make X, whatever more money I want to in the next year. Please ask me questions that you think are appropriate about me and my business, and then come up with a plan. And then don't stop there. Lose yourself in the matrix for like 10, 20 minutes, go back and forth. Just start with that. Because I just think there's a dopamine hit that comes with making money and like doing something. And then it's not about making money. You'll then realize how fun it is to learn. And I just want to say one last thing. There is so much fear. I'm meeting people that are CEOs of AI native companies that are scared of being left behind. Everyone is fearful, guys. So if everyone is fearful, no one should be fearful. Like, just breathe. You're already ahead of the game. So if you just spent 1 minute today on AI, asking it a question, 1 minute, and you did that every single day, just one question you ask AI. And then, by the way, don't ask it questions, ask it to do. So first ask a question, then be like, can you do it for me? When AI tells you do it, be like, you do it. That's it.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. That is perfect.
Yeah.
As I say, we could carry on. I need to close this. And Siddhi, it's been absolutely fantastic having you here. We will meet.
Yes.
I'm sorry you're not at scale, but
I'm now speaking in June 9th. I'm going to be there.
I will see you.
I will.
In fact, as this is published, I saw you yesterday.
Love it. Love it. Love it. I will see you next week.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. It was great.
Completely awesome conversation with Siddhi. She's just so inspirational, motivational. She just fires me up. And I came away from that conversation with so many ideas. And as I said, it's always a bit odd when we do a recording like this. And I know it's going to be published in a couple of weeks. And I know I'm going to see that person just before publication. And how do we work that in? But if you're listening to this on the publication day, we are actually Scale UK. And it was the Scale AI day yesterday, the 9th. And I would have caught up with Siddhi then, had more conversations, caught up with Ella from AutoHost, who was on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. and I'm sure we are going to geek out royally. So I really hope you enjoyed that. And let's not forget to go to Why Hangry. We got really caught up in AI there, but I wanted to go back, mention Why Hangry again. It's such a great platform. Definitely go check it out. It just seems like a no-brainer if you're running a property management company or you're an independent host. What I didn't talk to Siddhi about was how you actually do earn money from it. But I will make sure that we have that in the show notes. So you can actually go to the Why Hangry platform and you can see that you make commission. It's an affiliate link. Every time somebody goes out and books a meal with a chef or has a chef come in and create a meal for them, then you as property manager or host collect that commission. So that's it for another week. I'm super excited now. I'm heading back into what I'm doing at the moment, which is a lot of app creation. You're going to be hearing more about that in the upcoming months as we put together this fantastic toolbox of apps to help you do all the little things that take so much time at the moment. More of that to come. For now, thank you. Thank you for being here. As I sit here on my own, I know you're out there listening, and I am really appreciative of you and hope you come back again next week. It's been a pleasure as ever being with you. If there's anything you'd like to comment on, then join the conversation on the show notes for the episode at vacationrentalformula.com. We'd love to hear from you, and I look forward to being with you again next week.